Hello and welcome to Recap Master. The film explores the awkwardness of growing up and the unexpected turns life can take wrapped in a humorous and heartfelt narrative. The film opens with Maddie Barker, Jennifer Lawrence, a 32-year-old Uber driver and bartender living in Montauk, Long Island. Maddie's life is in turmoil. She is struggling to make ends meet and is at risk of losing her childhood home due to unpaid property taxes. Her car, which she relies on for her Uber job, is repossessed, leaving her desperate for a solution. Maddie's financial woes and her general dissatisfaction with her stagnant life set the stage for the film's central conflict. In her quest to find a solution to her financial problems, Maddie comes across an unusual job listing on Craigslist. The wealthy Becker couple, Matthew Broderick and Laura Benanti, are seeking someone to aidite their introverted, 19-year-old son, Percy Becker Andrew Barth Feldman. Before he heads off to college, the Beckers hope that this experience will help Percy come out of his shell and gain some confidence. In return for her services, they offer Maddie a Buick Regal, which would solve her transportation problem and allow her to continue working as an Uber driver. Intrigued and desperate, Maddie decides to take the job. She rationalizes that this arrangement, while unconventional, could be mutually beneficial. Percy would gain some much-needed social experience, and she would get the car she needs to keep her job and save her home. Maddie's decision to take on this task marks the beginning of her journey into Percy's world. Maddie's first encounter with Percy is awkward and challenging. Percy is socially inexperienced, painfully shy and deeply uncomfortable with the idea of dating. He spends most of his time playing video games and studying, with little interest in socializing or engaging with the world around him. Maddie realizes that getting Percy to open up will be more difficult than she initially thought. Despite the rocky start, Maddie is determined to fulfill her end of the bargain. She employs various tactics to try and bring Percy out of his shell, including taking him to parties, introducing him to her friends and encouraging him to engage in new experiences. Maddie's efforts are met with resistance at first, but slowly, Percy begins to warm up to her. One of Maddie's first attempts to break Percy's shell involves taking him to a local bar. The scene is filled with comedic moments as Percy awkwardly navigates the social setting, unsure of how to interact with people his age. Maddie encourages him to dance, but his stiff, uncomfortable movements draw laughter from the crowd. Despite the awkwardness, Percy begins to relax and even manages to hold a conversation with a girl at the bar, marking a small but significant step forward. Maddie also takes Percy to the beach, hoping the relaxed environment will help him open up. They play volleyball, and although Percy is initially hesitant, he eventually gets into the game. The sun, sand and friendly competition help to break down some of his barriers. They end the day with a bonfire where Percy shares a bit about his love for astronomy, revealing a passion that Maddie finds endearing. As Maddie and Percy spend more time together, they begin to develop a genuine friendship. Maddie learns about Percy's fears and insecurities, and Percy starts to see Maddie as more than just his hired date. The bond that forms between them is heartfelt and sincere, highlighting the film's underlying theme of personal growth and self-discovery. Maddie's influence on Percy begins to show. As he starts to gain confidence and step out of his comfort zone, he tries new things, makes new friends, and even begins to stand up to his overprotective parents. Percy's transformation is gradual but significant, and it is clear that Maddie's unconventional methods are having a positive impact on him. One pivotal moment occurs when Maddie takes Percy to a party hosted by her friends. Initially, Percy is overwhelmed by the crowd and the noise. However, with Maddie's encouragement, he begins to mingle. He even participates in a karaoke session, surprising everyone including himself with his singing talent. This event marks a turning point for Percy as he realizes he is capable of stepping out of his shell and enjoying himself in social settings. Maddie also introduces Percy to the world of dating apps, helping him create a profile and encouraging him to go on a few dates. These experiences, although awkward at first, help Percy build his confidence and understand more about what he wants in a relationship. Maddie's guidance and support play a crucial role in helping Percy navigate these new experiences. Another significant moment in the film is when Maddie and Percy take a spontaneous road trip to New York City. The trip is filled with humorous and heartfelt moments, from getting lost in the city to visiting the planetarium, where Percy shares his knowledge of the stars. This trip helps to solidify their bond and provides both of them with a much-needed break from their respective struggles. As Maddie and Percy grow closer, the nature of their relationship becomes more complicated. Percy starts to develop romantic feelings for Maddie, which creates a new set of challenges. Maddie, aware of the age difference and the initial terms of their arrangement, tries to navigate these feelings carefully. She doesn't want to hurt Percy, but she also doesn't want to cross any boundaries. The situation comes to a head when Percy's parents find out about the true nature of Maddie's involvement in their son's life. They are furious and feel betrayed, accusing Maddie of taking advantage of their son. This confrontation forces Maddie to confront her own motivations and the impact of her actions on Percy. She realizes that while her intentions may have been good, the reality of the situation is far more complex. The fallout from this revelation is intense, with Percy feeling hurt and confused by the betrayal. He withdraws from Maddie, and his progress regresses. As he grapples with the situation, Maddie is left to reflect on her actions and the consequences they have had on Percy's life. This period of introspection is crucial for Maddie's character development as she comes to terms with her own flaws and mistakes. Percy's parents confront Maddie in a tense scene, accusing her of exploiting their son. Maddie, caught off guard, tries to explain her side of the story, but the damage has already been done. Percy, overhearing the argument, feels humiliated and betrayed. He lashes out at Maddie, accusing her of using him for her own gain. The emotional intensity of this scene highlights the deep feelings that have developed between the characters and sets the stage for the film's resolution. Determined to make things right, Maddie sets out to apologize to Percy and his parents. She acknowledges her mistakes and expresses genuine remorse for her actions. Maddie's sincerity and willingness to take responsibility for her actions help to mend the rift between her and Percy. She explains that while her initial intentions may have been selfish, her feelings and the friendship she developed with Percy were real. In a heartfelt conversation, Maddie and Percy confront their feelings for each other. Maddie explains her initial motivations and how they changed over time. Percy, despite his hurt, recognizes the positive impact Maddie has had on his life. They reconcile and their friendship is restored. Percy's parents, seeing the genuine bond between Maddie and their son, begin to soften their stance. They acknowledge that while the situation was unconventional, it ultimately helped Percy grow and gain confidence. They agree to let Percy make his own decisions about his future, signaling a shift in their overprotective nature. In the end, Maddie gets the car she was promised, but more importantly, she gains a new perspective on life. She decides to stay in Montauk and focus on rebuilding her life. Armed with the lessons she has learned through her experience with Percy, Maddie's journey of self-discovery and growth comes full circle as she embraces her future with a newfound sense of purpose and confidence. The film closes with a heartwarming scene of Maddie and Percy enjoying a day at the beach, a symbol of their enduring friendship and the positive changes they have brought to each other's lives. The beach, with its vast expanse and calming waves, represents the endless possibilities and the fresh start both characters are embarking on. The closing montage shows Maddie and Percy, each taking steps towards their new futures. Maddie is seen working on her house, painting and repairing it with a sense of pride and determination. Percy, now more confident and outgoing, is shown enjoying college life, making new friends and participating in activities he once avoided. The film ends on a hopeful note, emphasizing the positive impact they have had on each other's lives.